Recording in the nude, as far as you know. It's the Going Out podcast with Rap Critic and Muse. Muse, how you doing? How you enjoying the texture of that chair?
It's a little unfamiliar. But I'm growing accustomed to it.
Yeah, mine's a fuzzy one, so it's all good.
Mine's kind of suede.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That can be comforting.
And it's like, sure, you felt it on like your elbows, maybe, and like the back of your neck before, but your nether regions.
Oh, when you feel it caress your backside,
it hits a bit different, doesn't it? Mm-hmm.
Let's get into these album reviews.
Before we do that, two shout outs I want to give. One's a bit closer to home than the other. We'll start with the less familiar. Fucking Lizzo?
Well, what happened?
Getting Entertainer of the Year from Time Magazine?
Oh my god. Hey, look at that.
Fucking big things are happening really fast.
Fucking hit her with that.
Like, I would be a little concerned that it's happening too quick. Nah, I think it's alright.
let her have it.
Lizzo's a big girl, and that's not a fat joke. She can take care of herself. I think she's got sky's the limit from here. She has unlimited potential, and the haters picked the wrong fucking week to come after her is all I'm saying.
Sky's the limit, and you know that you keep on pressing on.
Everything is coming up Lizzo. And while we're giving shout outs, our girl Left at London, who we've had on the show twice before, and hopefully again in the near future, fucking dropped a new single produced by 100 Gex, or at least one half of 100 Gex, and it's just a teaser of the upcoming album, and I just need you. I don't want you to, I need you to. Maybe after you're done listening to this, go ahead, do yourself a flavor, check out the single called 6 Foot, or 6 Feet, I forget. It's really fucking dope. It's really good.
Okay.
But with that, the album reviews we have this week, and I don't know if it's because it's the holiday season and things are just a little slow, but we're still chugging through the Patreon requests. Not a lot of new albums really catching our eyes per se.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, if we happen to overlook one, that you're like, hey, guys, over here, you fucking stepped right over this shit.
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole just released the double album. What? How'd you miss that?
Yeah, exactly. The legend, the heralded collabo. That is what Ko-fi is for, my friend, because there's no looking back. We are full speed ahead. So it's Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/going-off to request album reviews. But this is from the back catalog. The
back of the back.
Oh my god, that reminds me. We didn't even talk about NickCannon.
Fucking NickCannon. Dude, oh my god. I just want to read this tweet that I saw from Big Ghostface.
Oh, yeah.
It was just hilarious. So it was like, and I had to screen cap it. Basically, it said, I just saw, I happened to turn back to Twitter and I saw this by Big Ghostface. It said, imagine you drop a diss track, then, imagine you drop a diss track. The motherfucker you dropped it for ain't replied, but your shit is so trash that you not only have been declared the loser, but your name will be trending as RIPU. And on top of that, your name that's trending as RIPU is spelled wrong. How many possible L's, bro?
It's L's on top. It's L's on L's on L's on L's on L's on L's.
Dude, and then you look. I glanced to the right, and I see R.I.P. Nick CANON.
Oh my god, dude! Oh no! Oh no!
I had to screen cap it.
Now it's
getting
sad.
I hadn't seen the fact that it was misspelled.
I never would have even noticed. Like Drake, we're gonna get a Grammy for this. We're gonna be releasing them back to back till you respond. And, you know, at least to their dedication, they did release 2 real subpar.
Oh no, they did another one?
They released a second one yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, he thought he was gonna kill him?
No.
And dude, didn't he have like Suge Knight on one of the songs trying to pull a fucking cannabis, you know, trying to get a strongman like a Mike Tyson, you know?
Oh, no!
NickCannon, I need you to eat MCs.
Oh, fuck. If this is a shoot, this is pathetic. If it's a work, it's got people talking.
See, the only thing I think could work is, and I remember when I saw the cover art for the song, it had the Wild and Out logo on there. And I was thinking, oh, maybe he's just trying to goad Eminem into being on the Wild and Out show.
That's what I think.
Actually, like, I will say, like, of all the things that NickCannon has created in his career, like, the Wild and Out show is probably, like, you know, like, the thing he should be remembered for. Like, his albums, you don't need to remember that. The show he did, you don't need to go back and watch that shit. You know what I mean? The Wild and Out show, that's where all the funny people come on and, you know, have a good time. And it's like, yo, Eminem would totally demolish these motherfuckers. Like, the show might be ended. Like, he might say something a little too horrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, NickCannon's trying to do this, like, come on, the show. And it's like, Eminem's like, I could end you, motherfucker. Like, yeah, come on, you saw what happened to MGK. He is not to be trifled with, bro. Why do you keep doing this?
He brings up Wild and Out, way more in the second one. He's even like, Wild and Out Nikes coming soon. Like, he's trying to do, like...
Okay, this is like some masterpiece shit. He's just trying to advertise for all this shit while he can get the eyes.
It's really wacky. Yeah, he realizes everyone's on him. He needs to fucking promote every goddamn thing.
He's trying to promote it before it becomes too much of a meme. Like, it's a meme now, so people are saying my name. Oh, hey, let me put the merch out. You know what I mean?
This is when his aunt texts him, "Hey Nick, I saw your name was trending on Twitter. I didn't look into why. Would you mind promoting your cousin's dance recital?" I realize, Nick, that this might be the most relevant your ass will ever be.
When I was listening to the first song, I did not listen to the second because I mean, come on.
It's not worth your time at all.
But there's like one part where the guy who's like, you know, first of all, whenever you hear someone dissing someone and then you hear another rapper come in, it's always immediately like, well, okay, well, you needed help, so this already, like, takes it down. You know what I mean?
Nick only does one verse on the second track, too. He has a bunch of help on that one.
When the guy comes in, he says something about where he's like, I can't believe, you know, Eminem is beefing with NickCannon. Like, the way he says it is just like, it almost made me do the double take, like, are you supposed to be calling out how dumb this is? Like, you know.
This shit's ridiculous. Can y'all believe what the fuck I'm seeing? Alright, you're pushing it a little too much. Dude, how many fucking candy puns do we need?
Oh my god.
Eminem's spinning because your boy's a nut. I'm putting Eminem in the bag like it's Halloween. Oh my god, stop
I think I had texted you. I said, I think nobody had heard each other's verses before they recorded.
Suge Knight is probably the only reason why that first track was trending, because of the you and Pac got the same energy, because
oh my god,
you're doing shit for the people. Alright. Like, at that point, we all gotta be... We know what's going on.
The internet collectively just looked at each other and was like, what's he saying?
It's embarrassing. Please put out a third one. I was gonna tell you to stop while you're ahead, but you're not ahead, so just keep them coming.
He's trailing in the dust, holding on to that thread at the back of the truck.
He thinks if he never stops releasing them, he can't lose. Because, yeah, It's looking bad, man. At the end of the second one, they're saying, come on, man, you had 24 hours to respond. Detroit better kick your ass out, cause you's a bitch. Stop. This motherfucker had the gall to say, we should have, what was it? I'm paraphrasing because I don't care to look it up. I wish we would have lost you and kept Juice WRLD. Like, they're dropping Juice WRLD's name in the track. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, for clicks.
Yes.
And
that's
then
awful. Okay, that's awful.
And then bringing it to hey, this was all fun and games. We were talking about shoes and shit. I wish you were dead.
See, and that's what I'm saying, like, there's a lot of tonal problems, like, okay, even if you wanted to do, like, a diss song, and you want to, like, hey, Eminem, come on our show, you know, we're joking on you, like, you know, look at you wear the track star thing still, you know, you wear the this, and you did it, like, if they were just joking on his, like, you know, public persona, but, like, in the first song, they were already talking about, like, Haley and stuff like that, it's like, that's the no-go zones, bro. You don't bring family into it, bro.
Especially
when... And, especially if you, like, want to get him on your show, like, you know what I mean? Like, if this is supposed to be like, come on the show to do, like, don't fucking diss people's actual family members, dude. You know, because this seems like you want fucking trouble.
That might not be the case anymore, now that I think about it. Yeah, it's looking real bad. I don't exactly know what kind of smoke Nick is hoping for at this point.
Yeah, because it came off jokey when it started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's like these little barbs where it's like, whoa, that's a little tone deaf, you know?
Uh-huh.
No one has exactly come to NickCannon for, crafting a great song, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, I'm totally unfamiliar with his shit. He had one hit single a long-ass time ago, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, with R. Kelly. I'm a gigolo and I'm about to do it. I feel like a pimp because I'm about to hoe or something like that.
As soon as you said with R. Kelly, I was like, oh man, he's full of great life choices. This NickCannon is batting 1,000. Holy shit. I just remembered that... Do you remember the really weird video he did? It was like parodying rappers...
Yeah, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon. Surely is good.
I just remembered that.
I remember, like, how just awkward it was. Because it was like, no, I know what you're doing, but this is really bad. Because it was him and Avion Crockett, I think. You know.
Oh.
And I think they had to bring in Nas at the end, like, after they had already finished the video. Because you could tell, like, they smash cut to him, like, well after this video was done. But he's like, yo, man, if we don't make that stop, this is what hip-hop is gonna be for real.
Oh my god, I forgot that. Yeah, hey everybody, we had a lot of fun joking about rap today, but it's a serious business.
Yeah, they knew, like, if they put that out just by itself, it would look a little bad, you know?
Were you aware that they did an Eminem parody on All That?
Oh, no!
Okay, so they got your boy, Fleminem.
That's probably about the best joke they could do on a,
It's just about as thought-provoking as the name of the song, which is Without Meat.
That was always it, wasn't it?
That sounds about right.
I think I remember this! Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Dude, cringe mode. This reminds me of when I first started writing, like, parody songs. And... you know, you listen to Weird Al and you're like, okay, I want to do my own parodies, but I'm going to do, like, you know, parodies of, like, rap, like, hardcore rap songs, you know? So I'm going to do a parody of Give Me Some More. It's going to be called, like, Give Me Some Meat or some dumb shit like that. Are you watching it? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wait, I gotta put in the headphones. Hold on.
They went all out for this shit.
Oh man.
I created a sandwich, cause nobody wants to be hungry no more. They want meaning, chopped liver. Well, if you want taste, this is what I'll give you. Little bit of beef, no much of a sliver. Some hot dogs can jump start my heart quicker than a shot. When I get shocked, I fiddle by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm eating some bacon while he's operating.
As soon as I heard the first lyric, I was immediately like, oh, I know why this was made.
I created a sandwich. Oh, no!
That's all they had! That's all they had! Oh, no, but wait, the other lyric where he says, like, they want shady, I'm chopped liver. So they were just like, I created a sandwich, because nobody wants this anymore, they want this with chopped liver. Oh.
You ever just listen to, like, and trust me, I haven't done this in a really long time, but, like, your morning radio show, like your wacky morning show where they try to do...
Yes.
Where they do the fucking parody songs or whatever, and you can tell that they just had one lyric in mind, and were like, they had to write the whole song around that one joke. And if they happen to stumble across any other jokes along the way, that all well and good, but we're not going to hold our breath for it, because...
Oh my god, what was, I remember my mom told me about one. Do you remember the song called, One Night in Bangkok?
Yes.
By Murray Head. One night in Bangkok in the world. Well, there was like a radio parody, it was like, One Night with Regis, like Regis Philbin, and it was like, One night with Regis makes me want to upchuck. I want to vomit when he's on TV.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the internet probably would have never heard that one if I wouldn't have remembered it.
There was there's a radio show in New York, New Jersey, and they used to do parody songs, and they did a parody of Sexy Back.
What's in that taco meat? Yeah. Is it full of little chihuahua feet? Yeah. Burritos made from rodents in the street? Yeah. Do they just slap some sauce on it and heat? Yeah. Take it to the fridge.
To start off, I want to send this very special thank you to Andrew Outwater for requesting this album. How do you say it?
And it's time for a review of the new harunemuri album, harutosyru. I hope I said that right.
Harunemuri's harutosyru. Yeah, that's as close as I can get. Because I want to play, I want to pay as much respect as I can to, an artist from, you know what I'm saying, another side of the pond than we are. Because that is a bit of an issue with this album, that it's all in a language that we don't speak.
We got some international flavor this week on both albums.
Oh, that is true.
Who could have planned that out?
Who could have planned how fucking different these albums are?
That's a really good point, too. I gotta say, I'm really surprised. We've been taking album requests for probably 4 years now, I want to say. And we've never had a J-pop album, which this is technically categorized as, but none of the songs really strike me as J-pop.
Yeah, as someone who, like, I listen to all types of music, so, that's the type of shit I listen to, too. And also, fucking animes. You're gonna hear some incredible J-pop music if you're listening to anime. You know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be awesome, because you gotta hear it every fucking episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, last year, I listened to some K-pop and J-pop, and most of it was, a lot of it sounded like it could be theme songs to fucking animes. They're full of energy. There's a lot of just, like... the harmonies are there, they're in your face, they're very intense. Super fucking catchy. This album, though, it's mostly rock with some hip-hop elements mixed in.
Like light rapping,
Yeah, and it comes in waves.
The big thing that I do want to give it credit for is that, it is going for that more... because I remember reading that, like, apparently this album was getting a lot more love in America, and, like, Japanese fans weren't digging it as much. And I think it's probably because it has a very more Americanized sound to it with the rapping and the rock. And, like, the way her voice, like, doesn't sound like a lot of, J-pop songs sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. She's very subdued.
Yeah. And whenever she does, like, crazy stuff, it's not like... It's not going through harmonies and stuff like that. It's more just like her, like, there's one track in particular where it's like rock and roll. Crap, I can't even say it. But it's just like, it's like rocking your fucking face off and going really hard where it's just like, la, 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 la.
Yeah, she's just straight up yelling. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a cool energy that it's like, I don't hear anyone with this type of energy purely because we don't have like artists with these types of voices over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like on that front, I do want to be like, yo, this is actually cool. And I would want people to listen to it. But for my personal money, I'm not sure if it's something that I'm into as much. And again, I say this as someone who does like listen to like J-pop and stuff like that. And like, and even like, you know, the rock and, you know, I don't know if I've ever said this on the show before, but I actually, like, when I was in college, I was like, I actually, like, studied Chinese pop music.
You
and
have
then, of course,
mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, and it got me into, like, you know, Japanese pop and, you know, the different subgenres and how they're, like, censored and things like that.
Fucking city pop.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had talked about that.
Love that shit.
So, you know, it's not like I'm not, like, you know, acquainted with the general, you know, styles of...
It's not foreign to you.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's like, even then, like, I don't find myself into this as much because the energy that she puts into the song is hard for me to interpret into any sort of emotion. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
And, like, yeah, I think this is my big issue. And it's like... And, like, I just want to say my limitations as a critic. Like, I don't know what she's saying, so... And after the first song, there are no English words, and I don't feel like the musicality really helps you as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely interesting things going on. I especially love the interludes that will go in between tracks and will, like, transition the music into, like, the next track and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I loved stuff like that. But I just feel like, you know, just like listening to the album, I was like, there was one person in particular, I think he was a Korean rapper, and I didn't understand anything that he was saying, but it was like the way the musicality was working and the way, like, the emotion in his voice was going, like, I still enjoyed the track, you know what I mean? And my issue with this is that there are a lot of songs where I'm just like, I really just don't know how to feel, and so I'm just kind of left just kind of listening. And it's like, you know, and the more faster and hyper she goes, the more, like, I don't want to say, like, it feels gimmicky or whatever, but I feel like the reason why it caught on to an American audience more is because it has that more manic sound that may, like, and I don't want to just like, oh, maybe if you heard what she was saying, it might not sound that great, but it was just like, it didn't feel like there's a lot for me beyond that, as someone who also has heard music that, like, you know, Japanese artists that do the, like, really quick time, you know what I'm saying, what's the word, Sprechstimme, you know, type of rap singing thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I haven't heard stuff like that too, but it's just like, this in particular is just not catching me that much, I just have to say.
I gotta agree with you to an extent. I enjoyed it, but... You know, there's definitely the language barrier that makes it difficult to really get the full experience. Genius was only able to help so much because even then I don't think all the translations were fully accurate, and even then some of them were a bit awkward, so they might have just done a straight, like, Google Translate, and you're never going to get the context and the actual meaning there. What I was able to grasp... not reading into this album hardly at all, so if I'm wrong or if I'm missing something obvious, please let us know in the comments. I mean, if you're a fan and you're familiar with this album, if you requested this album, if you're the person that requested this album, and you want to give us more insight on this, we would definitely welcome that, because I would like to know.
Yeah, like more context on, yeah.
I would love some more info about
Japanese
this.
Pop is right now, yeah.
There was a few themes I noticed popping up on the album, and just piecing two and two together. If I had to assume, this album kind of feels like a concept album, and might be dealing with the loss of a friend. There's a few tracks that mention death, mention just like the world dying. There's some tracks that mention like out in space. Rock and Roll, the last track.
That was my favorite track, honestly.
I think that might be the one that kind of cements it, because it's like rock and roll won't die, and it's almost like your memory won't die, and I think that's why it was so expressive. Because there's a song on there, another really great one, the sixth track. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to pronounce half of these.
Lost Planet is the parentheses title.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have skipped one. The one after that one.
Okay. I get what you're
saying.
saying.
I didn't count the interludes in my counting, I guess.
You know, honestly, like, I enjoyed them so much. I usually put NA for the interludes, but, like, they worked so well that I was like, all right, you know, this is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I liked how the interludes worked. They definitely had a purpose, especially ZZZ Part 2. The beat, which I really liked on that one, had different synths.
I honestly really enjoyed what was happening in the instrumentation in the interludes. Like, especially the one where it was, like, playing with the static. Like, the sound of static. That was so fucking cool.
That was a good one.
And for all of the ones with the best beats, I kept waiting to be like, ooh, I'll enjoy the shit out of this track. And it was like, oh, that was just the interlude. And I think that's what it is. Whenever it's, like, a foreign artist and you can't really hear what they're saying, like, if there's so much going on in the music that you're, like, you're still able to engage in the emotion, I think that's how it really works, right? For me, anyway. Like, I can't understand what you're saying, but, you know, if I listen to I Like It by Cardi B, 2/3 of that song I don't understand, but I'm still jamming along with it, you know what I mean? Because it's like, the energy of what's going on, you can still feel it, you know?
The second interlude, especially, had such a cool sound and such a cool beat that when I wasn't looking at it and I saw that it was just like an interlude, I was a bit bummed because I was like, oh man, right? I wish this was like a full song. And then when it carried into the next song, 19, and it was that beat, I was like, oh yeah, okay, fucking dope. All right, I'm here for this. But the song I was talking about specifically, which I just typed it into Google Translate, and it translated to lagging back the world. I'm not sure. That song specifically had themes of things are pretty shitty, but you're alive. You know, despite all the shit that life throws in your way, you're alive, and that's all that matters. And that comes up on a good bit of the tracks lyric-wise. The other ones were a little bit more abstract, which might just be due to poor translation.
The very first track is the only one in English directly, just called Make More Noise of You. And it like, okay, so track 1, like, this is a very, I don't know how you feel about it, but just kind of a neutral phrase, like, relatively, right? I mean, now that you said it's about a friend specifically, I
might
could put the piece together of, oh, hey, I'm making noise, you know, for you. This is in dedication of you. But, like, you know, just hearing that on its own, I was just like, is this about love? Is she angry? You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of hard to grasp really where she was emotionally.
There's that, and there's another track later, which is the second one. The second one that has distortion just repeated, like, a lot at the end, remember? Distortion!
Oh, yeah. See, and this is another issue. It's like, I feel like, okay, even if I don't understand what's happening, I've had this happen before where it's like, I don't necessarily understand, you know, even with a more abstract album or an album in another language, I may not necessarily know what's going on, but when I, like, look at the song titles, I can be like, oh, that song reminds me of this, and that's why I like that song. That stuck out to me. Like, remember the Mountain Goats last week when it was like, I can't remember what the song is. I can't remember what the songs are because the song titles are all like Bible quotes. So, like, you know, it's all just jumbles together and which is which. But as soon as I, like, start hearing, you know, a certain song, I'm like, oh, that lyric pops out of my head because that emotion comes to me. You know what I'm saying? And with this album, that didn't particularly happen. And so, like, and I hate to diss it because, like you said, like, you just gave me a little nugget of what it's about, and, like, oh, that already illuminated, like, the first track for me. So I'm like, man, if I knew what she was talking about, this probably would be a lot better for me. But I just gotta say, like, to be honest, you know what I mean? As a critic, like, it's not pulling me in because it's like, I don't know what you're saying, and it doesn't feel like there's enough engaging musicality for me to, like, interpret the emotion in my own way that allows me to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
My favorite cuts on the album were the Lagging Back the World track I mentioned before, 19, and the final track. I thought those were the strongest. Even as, like, a J-rock type album, some of the tracks I thought had really strong instrumentals, very cool driving rock beats. Not all of them, though. Some of them definitely fell a bit short compared to the other ones. I thought the weakest cuts... well, actually, no. I thought the first track was the weakest cut. Make More Noise of You.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's so much pressure on the opening track that you expect it to be way more attention-grabbing. So when that one really wasn't, I was like, alright. But it's not bad. I don't know who I'd recommend it to precisely. I ended up giving it a 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 as well.
Yeah. Heading over to our second album review, we got ImmortalTechnique's The Martyr, requested by your dear friend and ours, Mick Swagburger, back on the show.
Hey.
I was a little worried coming in. Just a little bit. Because...
a little trepidation.
Yeah, and I'll specifically... I'll spell out why. Back in the day, when I was just starting to get into hip-hop, ImmortalTechnique was one of the first people I kind of gravitated to. I kind of had a more elitist outlook, which I think a lot of people have of...
You weren't listening to no Ja Rule, right?
No, man, if I'm gonna listen to hip-hop, the lyrics have to mean something. Man, he's gotta be saying some real shit, man. Not that radio rap, man. This is hip-hop. Ugh, like there's a fucking difference.
I don't like enjoying myself with modes of media.
The only music I like is the music that makes me angry.
Exactly. I better be thinking about horrible things going on in the world.
It better be opening up my third eye, man.
Or else you're not a real musician.
So I was preparing myself for a fair amount of cringe. Not precisely due to ImmortalTechnique himself. You know what you're in for with ImmortalTechnique. It was more or less, I guess, the delivery and the execution. The beats weren't always the most memorable either.
And yeah, that's usually the... Like, I remember hearing his first album, Revolutionary Mixtape, like, Volume 1. Yeah. And the very first track, I remember just being like, wow, these lyrics are absolutely incredible. This beat is awful. You just a little boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. It's like a fucking something Wyclef would produce for Cannabis, you know? It's just like, what? Come on, this is nothing.
But because Revolutionary Volume 1, Volume 2, I don't know if they were exactly mixtapes or if they got like official label releases, because what we got here is a mixtape that never got a formal physical release, and because of that, they had some fun with the sampling.
And I think your boy got to shine because of it.
There were definitely some tracks on here that the samples they used, they worked so well.
The way it hits you the first time, I think it just overwhelmed me with just how perfect it was.
The tracks I'm talking about in particular, and they're all really lumped together. The ABBA sample on Rich Man's World.
Oh!
That Money, Money, Money sample was fucking
Shout out
tight.
to ABBA.
Then the fucking I'm the eye in the sky.
Oh my god! Incredible!
Fucking Alan Parsons Project, and
I love it!
And then the goddamn Goonies theme on Goonies Never Die.
Oh, dude.
Wow!
I have never watched the Goonies movies at all.
Me either.
I was
You
still
don't have
fucking
to.
rocking. Yeah, exactly. That's how fucking good it was.
Fuck the goddamn outdated Goonies. I'm listening to this ImmortalTechnique album from 2011.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck One-Eyed Jack is, but I'm fucking rocking with this shit.
Doesn't fucking matter. It's irrelevant.
Exactly. Oh my god. Dude, just when you think, this ImmortalTechnique's being a little too serious.
Look, him, Suave Seva, and Diabolic both having fun with the pirate references and the Goonie references.
Fucking Captain Dan and the Scurvy Crew, step aside. Dude, this shit blew it out of the fucking water. When you hear the fucking flutes and shit come in, and you're just like listening like, oh, we're really fucking swashbuckling on the goddamn 7 seas.
Yeah.
This isn't a fucking joke. Like,
it's weird how on an album where I wouldn't ever associate ImmortalTechnique with, like, fun.
Right?
You know?
He can switch it up on you, you know. Well, let me tell you the song I was thinking about. Fucking Black Vikings?
Yeah!
Jesus Christ! You could fucking hear the army fighting in the background.
That beat was so fucking intense.
Holy God! This is the type of shit that makes me want to fucking crash your goddamn car. This shit is so... Like, I can't fucking explain it. It's like, you remember that, what was that? The dude Ka and the DJ who did that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking, the Golden Fleece song and the Atlas and the.
Yeah, oh man, I don't remember what
it's right on the tip of my tongue. Orpheus and the Sirens.
Oh yes. Wow, yeah,
it sounded on that level, but dude, somehow even more epic. Like, Jesus Christ, you can hear the truth. And then I love how it ended, where it, like, cut off real quick, and you just said, like, start to seize the castle! I was like, oh, shit! I was like, let's fucking go!
The way the Goonies Never Die track ends, throughout the song, again, adding to just how unexpected... unorthodox this is for ImmortalTechnique. He's telling, like, a bedtime story to this little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the thing, the kid's like, so-and-so said you were in a gang when you were younger. And he's like, nah, we weren't really in a gang. We just, spray painted some stuff. And then at the end of the song, the kid's like, so-and-so says you had a lot of money. And he's like, I don't got a lot of money. And the kid's like, can I have some money? And he's like, no, I ain't giving you any money. Like, they have this cute little back and forth, and it's like, what the fuck is this? I never would have expected this on an ImmortalTechnique album, but this shit is, like, actually really cute and fun.
He does whatever the fuck he wants, man.
But then you got Civil War.
Oh my god,
dude. Okay, so let me just fucking...
break it down.
Let me just give you the rundown. You got your boy ImmortalTechnique, of course. You got Killer Mike. You got the fucking chorus by none other than Chuck D.
Dude.
And then you got the last verse by Brother Ali, which I didn't think was the strongest verse.
I fucking loved it. I barely hear any Brother Ali, so when he came out of nowhere, I was like, oh shit. It's like all the politically conscious underground rappers from the 2000s.
Brother Ali, he was doing this weird, like, half rap, half singing delivery that I didn't care for.
Yeah, that's his flow. Have you ever heard the Welcome to the United Snakes, Land of the Free, Home of the Slave? Have you ever heard that joint?
I don't think I have. I honestly haven't really went out of my way to listen to much Brother Ali.
I think because it's slower, it would probably work better, to the typical person's ears. I think, like, this track is faster, and so it demands, like, it might be harder to listen to the average person. But I was here for it. And then just the fact that it goes right into fucking Mark of the Beast, where you have even more fucking incredible goddamn verses. Like, those two back to back was just like, Jesus Christ.
It was interesting because I was looking at the lineup and I was thinking, man, this is kind of what I wish Prophets of Rage was more like. And then I was like, come to think of it, I wish Zach De La Rocha was doing this last verse instead of Brother Ali. And right as I was thinking that, Brother Ali he like references Rage Against the Machine in the lyrics, and I was like, he's just reading my mind now, I guess. This is what this is gonna be. Yeah, Mark of the Beast has Beast 1333, who is just full of interesting in-rhymes, which I thought was so fucking dope.
This album is absolutely incredible. I'm just gonna come out and fucking say it. The very first track, after the intro called Burn This, where he's like, everyone who hears this album, it's your fucking duty to burn this and send it to, another motherfucker,
I gotta say, I kinda rolled my eyes at that.
Well, 2011,
like, alright.
But
You don't want to
think-
be that guy rolling up to your friends with fucking CDRs of the ImmortalTechnique album. You gotta listen to this, man. This guy's talking the truth. All right.
But see, if the album was whack,
That's true.
See, you know what I mean? He earned it. And as someone who listens to ImmortalTechnique and has listened to like the first 2 albums and this one, like honestly, this would be the entry into ImmortalTechnique.
This is the best one.
Yeah, because the instrumental, like the music is fucking full and lush. The lyricism is incredible. The features are just fucking jaw dropping. Like holy shit, it's just track after track. Like I was just looking through this, I was like, I was saying earlier, like, oh yeah, those 2 back to back, but then I saw right underneath that one was the fucking the goddamn 300 song, fucking Black Vikings. I was like, wait, no, that's my favorite fucking track. So it's just like, you know what I mean? You know when you listen to an album and you're like, oh, I'm only gonna listen to my favorite songs, and then you're like, wait, haven't skipped anything yet, you know? So like I was just fucking, oh my fucking god, what are the lyrics from the Martyr? The point of guerrilla war is not to succeed, it's always been just to make the enemy bleed, depriving the soldiers of the peace of mind they need. And he said, the only way a guerrilla war can ever be over is when the occupation can't afford more soldiers, until they have to draft the last of you into the service and you refuse because you don't see the purpose. The only way to counter the insurgents that are well equipped is to paint the people fighting for freedom as terrorists. Then they find a faction looking for foreign investment, install them in power and murder any objections. It's just like, whoa! The way he just fucking, like, see, here is how the bullshit goes. You know, like, he just fucking lays it all out like a fucking map, just showing you all the intricacies of, like, you know, modern fucked up politics. You know what I mean?
The second verse is more about the government assassinations, giving specific examples of different rebels and revolutionaries and the governments that had them assassinated. Like it was like, okay. You know? Yeah, he's painting a very specific picture. I got, man, Angels and Demons is straight garbage, though.
Okay, see, that, I feel like that one is a sort of like, if you're along for the ride, you'll enjoy that one. Because it is so, that is the most, that is the most Tech 9 this album gets. You know, with the, like, the way too over the top person singing on the hook, you know what I mean?
That fucking chorus ruins it. Oh my god. I see angels,
and angels, it's real!
Oh, shut up. Shut up!
Oh, come on!
Look, like, Tech's verse is the only good thing about this track. The guest verses, no. The chorus is so goddamn obnoxious. If it wasn't for that cut, this album would be like the strong recommendation. Still wouldn't be able to give it a 5, but that fucking song, that early in the album really hurt it. After that, I would say the
fucking Rich Man's World, Jesus.
I would say besides that one, the other songs that are kind of to me were Toast to the Dead, not the strongest. Okay. Natural Beauty.
There were some awkward lyrics on it, but
yeah, it's like I
enjoyed what he's referring to in general is the, you know, the general stigma of like women, you know, especially black women feeling they have to lighten their skin and how that's an issue with, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so on that racial aspect, I feel that. But yeah, you know, there is that typical, you know, conscious rapper thing of like, listen, women, this is what you need to do, you know?
Mark of the Beast. Tech's verse was only kinda alright. Like I thought Beast 1333 was the strongest verse on that track, and the other ones didn't really hit that same bar. But I really thought the fucking chorus, the samples, the beat in general, man, I can't say enough about how good the beats on this album were.
They're
really surprising.
Otherworldly. Yeah.
Really was not expecting such good production, and the really well-fitting and very appropriate even like you wouldn't expect an ABBA sample to really work on this.
There's one sample later of, I think it's like an 80s song. I think it's like
Runaway by Bon Jovi on Young Lords.
Okay, yeah. Okay, which track was it? Yes!
And oh my god, fucking Joel Ortiz, Pumpkinhead, and CF? Who's CF? Strong verses from everybody.
Fucking.
Same with Black Vikings. We didn't even mention fucking Styles P and Vinnie Paz.
The way they, like, put in, you know, their political commentary with their punchlines.
Yeah.
It's such a, like, brilliant way of doing, like, conscious rap. Like, oh, shit, you know?
If you fucking got flows and the clever punchlines, that's great. If you're one of these rappers who's just doing the conscious shit and you're talking about all the political stuff and all the fucked up things in the world, that's great. If you can do both, get you a rapper who can do both!
Hey!
I could have done without the almost 8-minute long spoken word track.
No. I gotta disagree with you on it. I got to say the name no, my brother. I think that fucking tied it all together.
You think?
Yes, I fucking loved it because it was just like laying out all like, you know, it's like, this is how our country does this. This is how we let, you know, technocratic billionaires, you know, rule over our political systems and all that. I love that he laid it all out. Could have been a little shorter, but you know, the speech could have been delivered a little, you know, quicker, but I think he was trying to go specifically for that, like, you know, the presidential, going for that presidential speech thing. Because there was one part where there was a corny line in there. It was like, you know, we need to move forward, not move. So it was something like that, but it was like, it kind of felt like, but that's what a speechwriter for a president would put in to be like, this is the line you quote. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it was like, I was getting the aesthetic of what was happening, especially when you have like the wind whipping in the background. So it's like, all right, he's obviously supposed to be like outside giving this you know, intense speech. You know what I mean? So like, I appreciated especially how the album had set it up, and then you have this epic part, and then, you know, he gets shot at the end because of course that's how it happens.
If A, it was shorter, and B, would have actually been worked into like lyrics to a song instead of just a really belaboring spoken word cut, then I think I would have appreciated it more. Like, he's been able to prove that he has no problem spitting some real shit in these songs. He's done it this whole album. And then it's just, oh yeah, here's all the other things I really couldn't think of how to work it into a song exactly.
Into a song?
Yeah, here's all the other stuff I wanted to say. It was like, all right, okay. It was just a bit much.
I feel what you're saying. I want to quote Rich Man's World 1%. Fucking these goddamn lyrics just fucking bring the goddamn house down. So he's basically playing as, you know, a 1% dude who's got all the fucking money.
Yeah.
And owns, like, basically one of those people at the top at 0.001% that you never see, you never hear the name of, you know.
Yeah.
And he says, activists, act a bitch, get mad at me because of my tax-free charity. 80% to the staff and company and 20% to the homeless and hungry. Just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then this other lyric, while y'all struggling to pay taxes, I'm getting my money the fastest. Memos and faxes, shredded up documents, slush funds through the corrupt continents, but they don't want me indicted because they don't want my dirty laundry aired when I fight it. Like, ooh! It's like, all y'all motherfuckers are indicted to this shit too, so don't even fucking think of coming for my shit. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, I've always said, it's like, you know, all these rappers talk about like, yo, man, I got my ice, I got my chain. It's like, no, the biggest fucking baller is the guy who's the fucking 0.001%, who's like sitting on top of a goddamn country, and what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know? And like, just hearing the way he rapped this is like, yep, that's exactly what they would say, but they don't need to say it because, you know, you don't gotta flex nuts when you got them. Like, there was one part where he's like, I'm getting my fucking dick sucked by Miss America. I pay that bitch to leave. I don't pay her to stay. Like, oh my fucking God. It was so goddamn intense.
And sign of the times. It incorporates authentic Sioux tribal chants.
Oh, yeah.
In between the verses. They open the track. On Genius, it even specifically says, it's not a sample. They recorded it for the album, and they actually got actual members of the Sioux tribe to record the chants and the singing. It's 100% authentic, and it's like, wow, okay. Like, that I thought, that was a stronger outro of the album for me than the spoken word cut.
Well, yeah, that couldn't have been the end, yeah.
Like, I thought, I mean, I think if you were to end the album with Tech getting assassinated, like, that seems kind of fitting. But the way you end with something that, like, that's more powerful than just some guy ranting, essentially.
When I heard the Native American dude, I was thinking of fucking Frank Wong. Remember the dude who reviewed the Native American rapper? And he was talking about treaties. I think there was a song called Treaties, and he was talking about, like, I remember not caring for the song as much, but, like, the intro where it's like, like, America has violated 243 treaties between native peoples and, their country. And it's like, and there's fucking, that's just the way it fucking is. There's nothing you can do about it. And when fucking ImmortalTechnique brought it up on, it was either in the song or the speech where he said something like, the only thing we've proven with this country is that if some new foreign people want to come over and take over our shit, and in 100 years they can say, you people that have lived here don't deserve your land because we've set up this precedent that we're gonna treat the native people like shit. You know what I mean? Like, I loved that fucking tie-in. That was fucking visceral and intense. The way he brings things together. So it's like, this is a political album, most definitely, but the way he makes you understand every intricate point is just phenomenal. So, like, me personally, I give it a glittering 5 out of 5. Like, I fucking love this goddamn album.
Even a 4 isn't going to be enough for a lot of people. I would end up still giving it a 4 out of 5. Thank you very much for checking us out this week. Thank you so much for listening to us. If this happens to be your first time checking out our show, all of our old episodes are on Spotify. Do yourself a flavor. Follow us on Spotify. That way, you will not miss a new episode, and you can catch up on all the old episodes you might have missed. We've been doing this shit for a while now. It's just occurred to me that, when November next year rolls around, we will have been doing this show through the entire, I'm just gonna say, Trump presidency. At least that 4 years.
I didn't put that in my head.
It's been a while. We've been at this a while, is all I'm trying to say. And if there's an album you want to hear us talk about, check us out on Ko-fi. That is ko-fi.com/goinoff.
That's right, we've been getting a lot of love.
Oh my gosh, that Black Friday sale, we mentioned it last week. It built up that queue in a big way. And we got all types of different stuff to so keep your eyes and ears open for those coming down the road. It's a one-time $50 pledge for the donation, by the way, if you have an album you would like to hear us talk about. While you're at it, making sure you are following us on YouTube because we're posting videos and content on a regular basis on both of our channels. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, all the links are on your screen right now. If you're listening to us on Spotify or SoundCloud, all the links are provided in the description to our Patreons, our YouTubes, our Twitters, and our individual Ko-fis, as well as our unified joint Ko-fi for the album reviews. But until next week for the Going Off podcast, just want to thank you so much for showing us love and sticking with us. Until next week, I'm Muse.
And I'm Rap Critic, and ImmortalTechnique started an orphanage for Afghani kids. It's just an interesting fact. Not everything has to be funny.
Oh my God! Chalupas are such a delicious snack.